viewers, welcome to our new episode. We have started this series of tutorial that is on PHP PDO. Our former video contains how we can be able to make connection to database with the use of PHP PDO. So today is going to be how we can be able to create a database with PHP code from our PHP file. We always make use of our PHP MyAdmin. So let's get started. So after we have our PHP framework set, so we need to create connection variables. So we start with a variable that will display what is our server. So this is it. It's going to be local host. We are hosting on a local machine. Then the next variable is going to contain the user. So we can call it user variable. We can call it any name. So the user for default of XAMPP is always root. Then the next one is password. So we can call it pass. So on this now, we are now going to put empty, because the default setting of XAMPP is always empty, as we discussed in the other video. So next thing now is we are now going to put our code in a try and catch setting. We have try here, then we now put catch, open round bracket and close it. You can say PDO exception E. Now open round bracket and close it. So all our connection is going to be on the try. Creating of the database is also going to be on the try. If we have any error, then it's going to be displayed on the catch section. So for we to connect to the database, we need to get a variable that will contain the connection. So con is equals to new PDO. Open round bracket and close the round bracket. Then now open double quote. So we can now say MySQL colon. Then we'll now specify the host. So the host is what? The host is our server. That is this server we created. So we'll now put our server variable. After this now we'll put comma. Now we need to add the next thing. The next thing is what? Is our user. So we say user. Then the last one is password. So we say pass. That means we are now using these variables we created. So this line of code now allow us to make connection to the database. So next thing now is we need to set the PDO error mode to exception. That means whenever we have error for this connection, so the connection is going to have it, then it will be displayed within the exception mode. So for we to do that now, we still need to use our connection. Now we'll put dash, now we'll put greater than sign. So after this now we say set attribute. So when we say set attribute now, what are the attributes? These are the attributes. So we'll put PDO colon colon, then attribute underscore, then we'll put error mode. After this now we'll put comma, then another PDO dash dash, then this is going to be error mode. Then after the error mode, then we'll put underscore, then after the underscore now we'll put exception. Alright, so that's all. Now put our semicolon at the end. So that's for the error. So that's for the setting of the PDO error mode to exception. Then the next thing is, now we need to create a query that will allow us to create the database in our PHPMyAdmin. So for us to do that, now we need to create a variable that will hold the query. So we can call it SQL, and we can say it's equals to. So now the SQL query that will allow us to create database, we need to put it into a double quote. So this is the SQL query, create database. When we say create database, now the name of our database, we can say my database. Now put semicolon at the end. So this SQL now is going to allow us to create the database. We say create database, then this is the name of the database that's going to be created. So now the next thing is, after we create the database, we need to execute this SQL query. So for us to execute it, we have to make use of our connection variable. Now put dash then greater than. So after that, now we need to execute. So we execute with this exec. Now open round bracket and close it. So now we need to show what we are going to execute, that is whatever is in this variable. So now $SQL, now put semicolon at the end. So when we do that, now we are now saying that we are going to execute this query. So if it is executed successfully, now we are now going to echo a message. We'll say database created successfully. Now put semicolon at the end. So that's all for the connection. So we now need to check in case if there is going to be an error. So this is how it is going to be displayed for us. Say echo, then put our SQL, that is if there is error in the SQL statement, then we say dot. Then we can now put a break of the line, but for we to do that, we put double quote BR, that is new line, close it, and put another double quote. I will now concatenate it also with the exception that is going to be thrown. So this is it. Then we can say dot get message. This get message that we discussed earlier, it is a method in PHP that will allow us to get a message out of a given variable. So that's all. The last thing to do now is to close connection after everything is done successful. So for you to close the connection, we now just go to go to our variable. We make use of it, con, then we can say it's equals to null. So when you say it is equals to null, that means there's nothing in it, so the connection is going to be closed. So that is the style of closing connection in PDO. So let's save our program, our file, then we'll test it out to see whether this database with the name of my database is going to be created in our PHPMyAdmin. So we'll now go to the browser. So there's it there. You can say localhost. The name of the folder is PDO, then slash table is the name of our file, table.php. Now I hit enter. So you can see we have an error. So this error is on line 8 and line 19. So you can easily go and fix the error. Before to fix it, we can see on line 8 we say connection PDO connection, then we can say we said new PDO, then MySQL, and we have the record, then we have host. The host we said is what the host is server. Alright, so this is where it is. We have to say not lost host is local host. Alright, so I think that's where the problem is. So we can go back to our browser and refresh. You can see database created successfully. So let us confirm it. I'll now refresh the page. This is it, my database. So the my database that we included in our SQL query here. That's it. We say create database. My database is created. Alright, so this is where we'll stop on this class. Now you follow us to the next class. Do not forget to share, subscribe for future updates. Thank you very much.